Zach,
Yes.
give me your thoughts on The Last Jedi. And don't be afraid to spoil it, because I already did.
I think it's to me. Everyone thinks it's all bad and everything. I think it was fine. The only problem I had was Rose. She a hoe. She trying
Rose
to.
was the Korean girl with Finn, right?
Yeah, she's trying to hop in my boy Finn's pants. Like she needs to fuck off. That's all I'm saying.
What a guy my boy Finn
So,
is.
was it left in the air that she died at the end, or is she
She's
alive,
like
or is she dead?
injured.
She's just injured. It's
Yeah.
like, I heard it was like they did it so that, she sacrificed herself for Finn because of love, but also she might be dead. We're gonna wait until after the film and see how the audience likes her to decide whether we kill her or not.
They should kill her.
I heard it
Yeah,
was left like that.
They kind of, yeah, they should probably. It's just
Like-
a very unnecessary addition to the film.
Why?
Yeah.
Why exactly?
Cause like she was basically the kind of character that's like, oh, we don't need to have hatred during this war. We got to care about each other and all. That's not how a war works. Like you're supposed to fight, you know. But she's all like, if we want to win this war, we got to stop fighting those we hate, but to protect the ones we love. Like that. That's not. I don't think that's how it's gonna work.
And then even Kylo Ren tries to pull that same thing with Rey.
Yeah, I feel like they're just trying to make the audience like, oh, fucking Kylo Rey's, and then what about them? It's just, I just think that I just think that some things were unnecessary during the film.
What was Rose's significance?
Nothing.
Not much.
So so you want her to die because she's the typical Disney love will prevail,
Yeah.
not hatred thing.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean,
Well, I haven't seen The Last Jedi, but I kind of like the actress.
yeah,
Oh, she's fine.
She's fine. She's like
She actually
did a good
had
performance and
pretty,
everything.
yeah.
Her role in the movie was unnecessary.
Yeah. It was basically the person. It was basically the person that was like, oh, let's make love, not war. But like, you kind of have to make war if you're gonna fight off like this dictator type, enemy.
Yeah,
I'm not even sure who the enemy is. So who is the enemy? Because they killed Tall Guy.
Yeah.
It's the
Basically
First Order.
Kylo Ren now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kylo Ren and General Hux.
Huh.
so they're
So,
probably going to continue the movie on with them, kind of like Kylo Ren doing like a Darth Vader kind of thing.
do
Yeah,
you guys have any idea who What's-His-Face was? What was his name?
The hacker guy?
The tall dude.
Oh, Snoke?
Yeah, Snoke. Do you have any idea who Snoke was?
Like with like lore and all that
I
stuff.
think, I think he had to
was,
read more on the lore. I didn't
well,
really read much on that.
I have a theory of who Snoke is. And people have come to the same conclusion as well, but I figured this part out myself. Who I believe that Snoke is. Because ever since Disney bought Star Wars, they've been releasing a fuck ton of new books. A fuck
Yeah,
ton of new
they really
books
have.
and audiobooks.
Yeah.
I've listened to nearly all of those audiobooks because I don't have time to read an actual damn book. I've listened to nearly all of those damn books, including the one about what's fucking, now I'm drawing blanks. Fucking Emperor Palpatine, fucking
Yeah.
yeah, Palpatine and his master.
What's his name? Darth Plagueis.
Yeah.
Was it Plagueis?
Yeah, Darth Plagueis is.
It was Plagueis. Yeah, it was Plagueis. Who is immune. Immune is his alien race or whatever. But in the book, Plagueis was experimenting with death and reviving people. Like, he had already figured out force ghosting. He was working on the next level of force ghosting, which is bringing yourself actually back from death. And he was actually able to do it with his old apprentice or whatever that he brought on. Or no, it was his master's old apprentice that came to kill him. He failed, so he just took him prisoner and started using him as a fucking death dummy.
Yeah.
So I think, beyond other things, because, for one, at the end of the book, Palpatine kills his master in his sleep.
Yeah.
That's not something you do to somebody who is as powerful as Darth Plagueis was.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because like they kind of have it like the extended universe with Disney, like that Emperor Palpatine like fights Darth Plagueis, and I don't know. I think they should have just kept the extended universe how it was.
They pick and pulled from it.
Yeah, they really have, but other than that, it's pretty much like the same stuff. Like
they needed to bring back Han Solo in order to sell the new movie. So
yeah.
I believe that was the main reason for scrapping the extended universe.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I have my disagreements with what Disney has done with it, but as far as longevity, I really like most of the books. There are about 4 really bad ones, but I really like most of the books that they've been releasing, and I've bought nearly all of them. So, and as they come out, I keep on getting them. And I don't know. For the longevity and the things they've been setting up and the possibilities, I like where they're going with Star Wars because I want to see more fucking Star Wars. Yeah. Like when at Comic-Con, when randomly fucking Samuel L. Jackson came up on screen and started talking about, oh, it turns out I may not be dead.
Yeah.
I want to see a fucking Samuel L. Jackson Star Wars movie. I want to see Mace Windu in his own film. I know he's not going to probably be around today in the current time, but they've been releasing all these other stories. I want to see what happened after he got pushed out that damn window and lost his R.
I mean, they are doing the Han Solo film.
Yeah,
so maybe they'll do a Windu film like next year.
Now, what do I want to say for The Last Jedi? Now I'm going to see it at my own pace because I've already spoiled everything for me. What did you guys think of the whole, like, the random new powers and Leia flying through space? What the fuck was that all about?
I honestly didn't know.
I don't know. Sorry.
It's just like, at first I was like, oh, alright, cool. And then when I thought about it, I was like, alright, now I just don't get it anymore. Like, did she, I guess because, like, she's technically has the Force in her.
She is Force sensitive, but she is not Force powerful.
Yeah. Like, when I saw it, I was just like, alright, I'm going with it, I guess.
I think, because a lot of people said in the war that the Force, there's a lot to discover more in what the Force can do.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I want to see more of what the Force can do. I know that there's a lot more to it, or there should be. I want to see more abilities at it from the Force. But Supermaning through space, I think that's a little fucking pushing it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe if Luke was able to, I'd get it. But I mean, like with Leia, I'm just kind of like.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, Leia is able to do it. Now, I take pride in my car. My car's name is Leia.
Yeah.
I love Princess Leia. I love Carrie Fisher. I'm listening to her book right now. Fun fact, did you guys know if Carrie Fisher had an affair with Han Solo?
I didn't know about that. I knew she had an affair with like a senator.
I don't know about that. But during the
Harrison Ford,
during the first movie, she wasn't married, but Harrison Ford was. And Harrison Ford apparently smashed in the back of his car and then took her back to his house after dinner or something, where he ran into a couple of other people working on the movie. And he was he was like 34 and she was 19.
Shit.
Yeah, Leia, or not Leia, Carrie Fisher. She was quite the.
Yeah, she's gotten around. I've always known that. And she's the drug stuff and everything. I love Carrie Fisher. And I'm glad she was able to live her life. But damn, that book reveals some shit.
She did a lot of stuff.
I'm like,
she was a good person though.
when I was listening to the fucking audiobook, I turned into fucking C-3PO out of nowhere, just princess!
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, oh my god.
Yeah, she was basically like, she went around.
Anyways, I love Carrie Fisher, and I plan on getting me a Carrie Fisher tattoo. So,
Nothing wrong with it.
Moving on to the Solo trailer, have you guys seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Now, when they were first talking about, and I have my concerns, as I mentioned yesterday, about this movie. First thing, are you excited for it at all? Are you looking forward to it?
I'm
looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it. I wouldn't really say excited for it, because like a lot of people are talking about it like, oh, it's gonna be bad, all this stuff is happening. I want to see it because like, I feel like with Disney, with how much they have on their budget and everything, I feel like they're going to make a good movie. I feel like they're going to be able to do something with it. Just probably in the long run, it's not going to be what people want. And I can respect that, because a lot on Disney about like, oh, this movie's like crap compared to the old ones.
Now, did you want to say something, David?
I'm really nervous for this movie because I don't know if you guys know, but this movie has had 3 directors quit on it.
Yes, I mentioned that yesterday.
Yeah.
That's one of my concerns for it, but when they first announced this movie before any shooting, I immediately facepalmed. That's unnecessary.
Yeah.
I don't need a young Han Solo movie. I don't want to see someone else ruin the image of Han Solo for me, because to be honest, I'm not much of a Harrison Ford fan because of how much he's hated on Han Solo through his life and career.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate him for what he created, because I love Han Solo. But Harrison Ford himself, for one, he's been trying to kill Han Solo since the first fucking movie. He wanted out of Star Wars immediately. Yeah. And throughout the rest of his life, he's come out and said that he's regretted playing Han Solo because it's what people know him for now today. Rather than the other movies in his career. He's had a long career of movies. Many before Star Wars, but Star Wars is the thing that basically set him up for life. And Now, I can kind of understand the whole not wanting to be known for this one thing rather than everything else I've done in my life, but I don't think that's reason to hate on the character, because to me, it kind of ruins the immersion. Like, Han Solo, I love that guy. The actor fucking hates him and keeps on hating on him. He has so much shit to talk about Han Solo. You played him, damn it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
That part kind of fucks with me.
Yeah, I actually knew about that too, and I was just like, then why did you cast as that character if you didn't want to be him?
Not just that, he was very close friends with George Lucas. He was like, he did Carrie Fisher's audition. He was there for all the auditions in the making of that movie. He was very close to it.
Yeah.
It's just, the way it blew up after he regretted that, I wouldn't fucking regret that shit. I don't give a shit what the fuck I've done before. But, yeah, I don't know. Now that I've seen the trailer and I've seen how nice it looks, I'm kinda... Now, I've taken back the I don't want to see this, because now I do want to see this.
Yeah.
Because the trailer looks really good. I don't know how, because again, it's lost 3 goddamn directors.
Yeah.
So it gives it, I'm kind of fearing for the finished product, how many different directions this thing is going to try to go all in one movie, thanks to all the different fucking directors. And these are not like early drop-offs. They drop like halfway through the damn movie. So how much have they all changed? What parts are left in? But also, I'm mainly more excited, less for the... for one, I'm glad they actually got somebody who's not Zac Efron.
Yeah.
Because immediately when Zac Efron auditioned for it or whatever, when they started pushing his name around, I instantly regretted this. But I'm glad that it's not Zac Efron and somebody who I don't fucking know. And he kind of looks like Han Solo. So,
he looks like a
young...
Solo.
Yeah, he does. But I'm more so excited for this movie because Gambino.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's, I saw that he was in the movie.
I'm more excited for just seeing a young fucking Lando Calrissian.
Oh yeah. He looks just like him too. Like when I was looking at that, I was like, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, Lando has always been an infinitely more, because I know the lore and I've read the extended universe and everything else, and they feature him in a couple like little voice cameos or whatever from the audiobooks. Lando's an infinitely more interesting character than Han Solo is, and I really would rather just see a young Lando Calrissian movie rather than a Han Solo movie.
Oh yeah.
But
I agree with that, definitely.
But I guess I am kind of looking forward to this movie now, just so that I can see young Lando, and because he does look like Lando Calrissian, like spot the fuck on.
A lot. I was surprised of how like good it looked. Like damn.
I'm also curious of seeing the experience of the making of this movie. I've seen movies that had to work with multiple directors, Justice League being one of them. And I don't even want to get into Justice League in this episode, but that one just having to work with the workarounds from what was it? Gunn to who was it? 300 dude, Zach something? Was it Zach?
Oh.
Fuck,
I forgot. Yeah.
I can't think of anybody's fucking names today, but yeah, 300 guy versus James Gunn, who I believe came in to finish the movie for fucking Justice League, which I don't even want to fucking talk about today. But just having to work with that many directors and them putting out a release date and trailer for this movie, I'm I'm hoping that the movie stays solid throughout the entire thing, because I know that shit gets irritating having to work with multiple different directors. So I hope the actors stay up to par. Like, I can imagine them starting off high and ending real low.
Oh yeah.
So, but mainly, please put more than 5 minutes of Lando Calrissian in the movie.
Yeah, I don't want it to be like a little bit of like awesome characters like that. I want to see these characters.
Yeah, I want to see like all of them like in depth, but I know it's a movie about Han Solo, but I want to see like what their place is in that movie.
I'm sure they're gonna like actually show what's what, but I just like what I mostly want to see during the movie is Han Solo and Lando. That's what I want to see. Because I mean, like when the first 3 movies came out, it was all about Lando and Han Solo know each other. They go way back, but we don't know nothing about that. So I actually want to see them actually talk about that.
And Chewbacca's in the movie too, right?
Oh yeah. Chewbacca's been with like Han Solo from like the beginning, so
yeah. And I don't even know how old Chewbacca is, because they had like a young Chewie in the animated in Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
I think like just going off lore and stuff, they say that Wookiees can live up to like 300 years. So like he's basically lived through the Clone Wars all the way to now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been around for a long time.
And I wonder if they're having the same guy play Chewbacca, who took over for the old tall Chewbacca dude, the new guy, or whatever. They have to find ridiculously fucking tall people who have leg problems to play these damn parts, so...
I know.
And lastly, what's the next Star Wars story that you guys want to see? Zach, you first. What's the next Star Wars story? Like the Solo movie, the Rebels, whatever the fuck it was, one before Last Jedi, and so forth. So what's the next side story that you want to see? Besides Lando Calrissian, because we clearly want to see that already.
I definitely would like to see fucking Boba Fett.
A Boba Fett movie? They cut that one, right?
I think they have, yeah, but I mean, like, shit. I'm
pretty sure they're gonna bring it back at some point, but I guess for now they cut it so they can work on the others, I guess.
If they were to like really be going for fan service or something like that, they'd keep it.
Do you want to see like young Boba Fett, or in his prime Boba Fett?
Well, we already know, like, with like Boba Fett, during his time that he like, we've already seen him young when he was with Jango Fett and everything. What I'd really want to see is
I'm talking about like after that. I don't know how much of the Clone Wars series you've seen, but
yeah, I've seen him like when Jango Fett gets his head chopped off and everything. I think what I really want to see is
the other one, in the Clone Wars, the animated one. They had like a young teenage Boba Fett who was rocking like dual pistols and like a cowboy hat or some shit or whatever. Like, because he was a badass, like, as soon as he hit, like, his teen years or whatever, and, I don't know, well, do you want to see older one, or, like, teenage version?
I want to see, I guess what I'd want to see is just, like, him, like, bounty hunter years type thing, like, in the beginning when he starts becoming a bounty hunter.
And then, I don't know, like, No, he's dead. Now, when they killed the expanded universe, I cried over Boba Fett's new stories and everything. How he like fucking basically took over. He went and took over his home planet or something, and like raised up his own army. of mercenaries and shit in the expanded universe, and then they killed it. And then I prayed for a moment that they would try bringing him back, but in one of the books, I forget which book it is, I believe it's one of the Aftermath trilogy, which they were okay, and the last one was not okay.
Yeah.
But they like tease you, and they describe someone appearing in Mandalorian green and yellow or whatever Mandalorian armor, and then he takes off his helmet, and it's some asshole named Joe Cobb inside of it.
Yeah.
Joe Cobb.
Fucking.
So
I wish they didn't fucking cancel the extended universe. It really is like so interesting and stuff, and like they just had to break it off.
David, what story do you want to see?
Outside.
Honestly, I would like to see Leia. More of her origin.
Yeah, I would like to see a Leia story too.
Like, kind of like in her prime, like, what was she doing while Luke, like, was doing his own thing? Like, what was her life growing up before he met her?
I think from like 26 to through her 30s, and then she settled down and became a senator again, like in her 40s or 50s or something. But in between the time of like around 30 something, or in between 40 to 26 or some shit, she was just like an adventurer with Han or something. She did her own solo stuff.
Yeah, like her and Han Solo did a lot of things while Luke did his own thing, and then I just kind of want to see how the whole story with them goes.
Yeah, I would like to see a Leia movie too. They released, like, as soon as Disney bought the fucking rights to Star Wars, they released some comic, like a short comic series for Leia. I would like to see them capitalize on that and go bigger, release more of it. She has her own couple of books as well that I've listened to, but they don't...
Yeah.
I mean, one is mostly of her being a senator, and then... Is that the one I'm thinking of, or am I trying to think of two different ones that is really just one book? I'd have to look at my phone, but... yeah, I'd like to see a Leia movie too.
Yeah, because Leia is just as much of an interesting character as all the other characters, but I feel like she doesn't have much justice in visually, like, through movies.
Well, Leia's my favorite character, so in the entire Star Wars series.
I like Luke Skywalker, but I think we've seen enough on him.
Yeah, we don't need to see any more Luke.
Yeah, but like more highlighted just movies based on like the other characters, like who they met along the way and all that other stuff. I mean, I think that'd be interesting.
Now, do you guys listen to audiobooks at all?
I haven't listened to one in a good while.
One I would highly suggest is, do you guys remember Thrawn? Who Thrawn is? Thrawn is one of the characters that they kept from the expanded universe. He's an alien. He's an alien from beyond the unexplored zone of space, which is where I don't know if you guys know this, but the New Order, they come from the unexplored area of space, because one of the things that, like, Palpatine wasn't just being a dickhead while he was ruling the universe. He was actually doing, like, some pretty important things, like exploring the unexplored area, for one, and expanding beyond that, discovering new races and making peace with new races. He actually did some good things. He's just a terrible guy.
Yeah.
But one of the things that he did is that he set off it was like an emergency thing. As soon as he died, it was something that activated, and there was a ton of kids that he had just kidnapped throughout the years, brought to Jakku, which is the new planet from the new movies or whatever. Brought to Jakku, And from Jakku, a bunch of kids that he kidnapped, along with some of the characters that they explained with from the books, who I also believe is where Rey gets her name from.
Yeah.
Because Rey, I guess, is not her actual name. She got it off like a pilot's helmet or something, and apparently that pilot's helmet was a rebel helmet. But I believe it was one of the rebels that was on Jakku that died there, who was hunting the Grand Moff Rey Sloane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Rey is possibly named after...
Probably a pilot.
No, not a pilot, but...
Oh, the
Grand Moff Rey Sloane is...
oh.
She was like the one who took over after Palpatine died and the Empire started crashing and burning. She was the one that took over everything. But she, after her plans of trying to take over and rebuild the Empire after Palpatine's death, she... after all of her plans failed, she went to Jakku, found all these orphans that Palpatine had kidnapped and had been training as like fucking these tribal rebels or whatever, tribal monstrous kids, just to make them brutal fighters, because he wanted to make his own secret force of new troopers, which was the First Order. So all the First Order tribal kids hopped on these brand new fucking spacecrafts capable of exploring the unexplored zone, and everybody who was left basically in the Empire hopped on that ship, took off into the deep space of the unexplored zone, and that's where the First Order comes from. They were those kids.
Yeah.
I would like to see a movie about Thrawn, who is one of the aliens that they kept from the expanding universe, and I highly recommend his audiobook or his real book if you prefer reading physical books, but I don't have time to read physical books, so I listen to audiobooks. I'm not sponsored.
Sponsor him.
Sponsor us.
But I highly suggest listening to the Thrawn book. It is one of the ones with the least action inside of it, but the most fucking interesting character in Star Wars is Thrawn. He's this fucking genius. He's a genius who's just able to piece things together in seconds. He made it to like one of the highest ranking admiral positions, grand admiral positions in the Empire, while Palpatine and Vader was still alive and whatever. Apparently they also... Go on.
I was just saying, like, with Palpatine and them, they were kind of like xenophobes with aliens.
They don't like aliens is the thing.
Yeah.
But he made it to one of the highest ranking admiral positions, ruling over everybody, just because of how skilled of a tactician that he was. And like, when I'm listening to these audiobooks, I kind of drool off and whatever and do my own thing and kind of stop listening while it keeps playing when there's like no lightsaber on, because I want fucking light sword swinging.
Yeah.
And this book was like probably the only one that kept my attention from beginning to end, just because of how fucking interesting Thrawn is. So I want to see a movie of Admiral Thrawn. Like a real good one.
I can understand that shit.
But you have to...
I think I remember I think I know who you're talking about. It's the blue guy, right?
Blue guy with like piercing red eyes.
Yeah, alright. I
remember.
Like they have blue aliens in Star Wars, but this guy is one of a kind because his race is hidden beyond the unexplored zone. So he's the only one. But he's super fucking cool. And he's my favorite. Well, I can't say bad guy because I won't spoil it, but he's probably not a bad guy. But he's working for the terrorists or the Nazis or whatever the fuck the Empire is supposed to be.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's really a bad guy. I think he's like working from within.
Basically, kind of like the Rommel of fucking Star Wars. Basically, working with the bad people, but he doesn't agree with any of them.
Yeah, and I believe he tends to undermine them. But I want to see that movie where he betrays them at some point or something. I don't know. Turns against them, starts working with his own race, and then they come out of the woodworks because apparently they're super established with their own military force and everything. I want to see more of his race and his character. And like he starts sending over like certain troopers or whatever that he meets inside the Empire over to his race to go and help them secretly. And he like just covers up their death or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I want to see that character.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Is there any other Star Wars news that recently hit or whatever worth talking about?
No, well, other than that, I mean, video game-wise, they're putting Conquest in Star Wars Battlefront 2. That's really the only other thing I know.
Conquest?
Yeah, from, like, stuff... have you ever played Battlefield?
Yeah, I played
Battlefield.
Battlefield.
Where you capture multiple flags on one big map.
What about... I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but EA killed one of the studios that was working on their own... Actually, this might be something to tag on before we close out. For one, I'd like to know just gaming in general. It doesn't have to be Star Wars related, but EA closed down a studio that was working on a single player, like super immersive, like Witcher 3 level, single player Star Wars game.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And EA killed it because they don't see a future for single player games because multiplayer makes money. For one, I'd like to know your guys' opinion on that thing.
I saw what you fucking... I saw the little article about it, when they shut it down.
Yeah, but the reason that they shut it down is fucking
the reason
stupid.
that they shut down is retarded. Like, I don't agree with it at all. But I'm not EA. But like most of my, like what I really have to say about it is, people care about story in a game, but I mean there is a majority that doesn't, but there is also the majority that does, and a lot of really successful games that are story based are like either Star Wars or most of the Mass Effect games, The Last of Us, like those are all story driven, and they're like basically Game of the Year worthy. Most Mass Effect games, but I don't know why. I don't know why they did it. I'm pretty sure the game would have got a crap ton of sales, but I'm not EA. I can't make the decision.
Me personally, the reason I don't own Battlefield 1, I didn't even try to fucking pre-order anything fucking Mass Effect, Andromeda, or anything else, is because I don't want to support EA anymore. I haven't bought, I can't think of, no, I do know the last EA game that I bought, which is, well, I recently bought the trilogy for the Mass Effect, so that's just so I can play through the Mass Effect games again. Besides that, fuck EA.
Yeah.
But the last actual game from EA I bought was Star Wars Battlefront 2, which I played with you guys for about a week and a half, and I don't think any of us ever touched it again afterwards.
We really didn't touch it again. I mean, the only thing we really had fun with it was Heroes versus Villains.
Yeah, that one mode. The one mode.
Fucked everyone up.
No, we just run around just messing people up.
Yeah, that was the most fun we had on that game, and then we never touched it again. So,
yeah, I even uninstalled it.
Fucking, yeah, I personally don't support EA anymore. The only reason I bought that damn game at all is because it was Star Wars. So
Yeah.
if they would have put out a single player fucking Witcher 3 level fucking single player game, whether you're playing as a Jedi or a trooper or whatever the fuck it is, I would have totally bought that fucking game, even though I hate EA. Because it is Star Wars.
Yeah.
But they don't care about that. They just want to attach a business model that they can keep on milking people for money, just like they tried to do with fucking Star Wars. And also, I didn't buy Star Wars right off the bat. I only bought it after they took out all the microtransactions, after everyone lost their shit.
Yeah.
So
Reason it's like fair enough.
I tried to give them a chance. Okay, they rolled back to microtransactions. They maybe deserve one shot. So I gave them that shot. Game kind of sucked.
Yeah.
So
It was okay. I'm very kind of just on the edge about it. Like, I had fun with it. I think the gameplay is good, but the progression system is boring.
Yeah.
In all multiplayer, and the story is just not too riveting. It didn't grab me too well.
I didn't even bother with the story.
It's kind of like I played it, forgot about it.
I listened to the audiobook they put out for the story. It was fucking stupid.
Yeah. They made it be like a whole you're part of the Empire thing, but you're part of the Empire for like
you're
30
the
seconds.
Empire for 5 minutes. Now go kill your friends.
Go kill the people that you trusted.
They didn't, like, when they were marketing the game, they didn't show any of that. The turncloak thing. Even though they only showed the Empire stuff. And then you're in the Empire for a whole 5 minutes. So fucking stupid.
I was honestly, like, pissed about that. Cause, like, I'm a huge Empire guy. Like, fuck the rebels. But then when I saw that, I was like, alright, well, not really a big Empire thing if you make them rebels halfway through.
Yeah, and it's very misleading if you only show the Empire stuff, and that she's a very proud Empire person, and, like, when the lady came out on stage or whatever at, like, E3 or some shit, she was dressed in, like, a Empire black and red dress or some shit, fully repping going all in on the Empire. It's fucking ironic.
It's false advertisement.
Basically, I mean, like, it was disappointing, but
the one game from EA that I actually want to play is fucking Battlefield 1, but I can't because I don't support them anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, Battlefield 1, it's not even as good as a game as Battlefield 4 or 3 is. It's not that good anymore. I mean, like, it's good, but it's not good to grind. I don't know how people still play that game. I mean, I still do, but not really.
I believe it still has a pretty good player base to today. I guess one last thing to tag on is, have you guys ever played Gigantic?
No.
Yeah, I actually really like that game.
It's a super fun, very different MOBA-esque battle shooter arena type game. Very creative, very different, and it's dead.
Oh,
They're closing down the servers in July.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate, but it didn't.
It fucking
maintain the amount of players.
Yeah, it's fucking near impossible to do that when there are bastards like EA who blow their fucking game up on microtransactions and so forth, draw all the attention away from these actual different games that are being really creative and really worth the free that it is. It's a free fucking game. Go fucking play it. It's really good, really fun. It's fucking frustrating that it's shutting down, but I don't. And then, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm sad, and I'm very sad that I don't see much of a future for multiplayer games, or not multiplayer, but like independently made games.
Yeah,
because even Paragon's shutting down.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yep.
Didn't they just make a what is it? Is it Paragon or was it something else that they made the Battle Royale thing?
No, that
it
was
was
that was
Fortnite.
for not Fortnite.
No, not Fortnite.
That was for the other one.
Oh,
It was
Paladins.
yeah,
Paladins.
Paladins.
Oh, Paladins. Yeah.
Paladins is still maintaining a player base so far. I mean, like
Isn't that one made by
it's made by High Res. The people
yeah.
who made Smite.
Smite? Yeah.
It's good. I play it. I mean, I think it's a better version of Overwatch, and it's also free to play. But I kind of wish like there are games like Gigantic and Paragon that actually had a steady player base, because Paragon was good. Now they're shutting down in April because basically Smite and Fortnite killed it.
Yeah.
Epic basically killed their own game with Fortnite and many other games.
And we'll go out on this note, this very, very last note, that Battleborn was a really good game. Fuck all of you. And then we're gonna cut it there. Thank you very much, Zach. And yes, it was a good game. Fuck anybody who says that it wasn't. And also fuck Gearbox for not marketing it. That is their fault. But still, people that were hating on that game, fuck you. I love Battleborn, though it does irritate me every single time I see Gearbox tweet about it. Oh, look at the free character rotation now that the game is free now. No, there are like 7 people playing that game. You can't even find a game anymore because you need 8.
I spent $60 on it just for it to go fucking free.
I spent a lot more than that because I bought a bunch of the skins.
Like the same thing with Evolve. I spent like $60 when it was coming out, and then it goes free like halfway through.
I would rather just see the game. That's the one game that I like, that I would like to see just die now, because it's like, it's fucking like watching someone you used to look up to who is on crack and heroin now. They're just clawing at Twitter. Look, our game's free.
Give us more money.
Go play it. The free character rotation. I already have all the fucking characters because I bought the damn game, so it doesn't matter anyways.
Play the game.
Yeah, it's fucking bad. I hate seeing them.
Yeah.
It's really unfortunate. When I got it, this is how sad it is. It's $5 at a place called Five Below here in Texas. I don't know if y'all have those up there, but there's a little shopping center called Alliance Town Center, and there's a place called Five Below. I looked to where the DVDs and stuff are, and the one game that they have on the shelf is Battleborn.
Yeah.
$5.
Anyways, gonna cut it there. Thank you very much, David and Zach, for joining me for this unnamed version of the podcast. Hopefully next time we can have Dre along with us, where we can then proceed to piss him off throughout it, while we possibly talk about DC and the future of the DC universe next. Yeah. I hoped you guys to join me soon. I would say see you soon, but we're about to go back into the other room and keep talking while I edit this. So, anyways, thank you for listening to the Friendly Fire Podcast.